Hi, welcome to episode 293 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things, a podcast about things. Today, I'm going to be talking about always being on alert. Let's get into it. So, in recording this podcast and doing this daily podcast, there are processes and steps that I take, or I try to take every day, to be sure that everything is in order. Or there used to be. And as I continue to go through this process, this is 293rd episode, and I've done this 293 times now. Something breaks, and in a way that I do not expect or imagine. Some of these breaks have happened really early. I remember there were some episodes in February where I had scheduled to go up, and the dates ended up being weird. They didn't publish in the order that they were supposed to publish and whatever. And recently, about some 20, 30 or so episodes ago, so many things happened. First of all, one episode uploaded, there was an upload to YouTube that had no audio. That happened twice, actually. How that happened, I don't know. There was one where the podcasting tool that I use, or the recording tool that I use, exported an old audio for a different podcast in the podcast. So when I uploaded it, it was basically... So I have to basically re-record that episode, which I haven't even had time to do yet. And then yesterday, which I just realized today, after taking my time to upload everything, fill out all the details, picture, description, everything, Acast did not publish my podcast yesterday. So the episode is on YouTube, but not on Spotify, Apple, everywhere where it publishes from Acast too. And I think this one is the most annoying one. I am so frustrated by this. And why I talked about the topic of this episode being always being on alert is, in the beginning, when I was doing this podcast, after I uploaded to Acast and published, I would actually check on Spotify, Apple, because I have a note with the link to the podcast on the different podcast platforms, and I will go and check there and listen there at least to the first couple of minutes to be sure that it had uploaded and everything was fine and everything was live. And then I became comfortable. I was like, oh, this thing's 100 episodes later, this has not been an issue. This has not been an issue. So I don't need to do it all the time. This is overkill. It's a daily podcast. I don't have all this time. Blah blah blah. And now here we are, because I decided to not be on alert every day and just believe that everything is working the way it's supposed to work, because it had been working the way it was supposed to work for a while. So what I had been doing since the episode that the audio was wrong, when I realized that, I didn't even realize it was somebody who notified me that the topic and the content were not matching, and I was like, so I went to listen to it, and I realized, and even the one where there was no audio, it was somebody who also told me that, there's no audio in this episode. And after that, what I started doing was, whenever I downloaded the audio and uploaded it, I will listen to it again before pressing publish, both on YouTube and on Acast, so that I can be sure that there was audio. And I've been doing that since then, which is redoing what I was doing before, which I stopped doing because I got too comfortable with technology working. Apparently, it doesn't always work the way you expect it to, and the way it has been working, something will just break for no reason. And so now I have to go back to every day always listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever, to be sure that whatever I have published is actually published. But so this is in the life and times of doing a daily podcast, some of the challenges that arise and how you cannot always rely 100% on technology. There's breaking points, things will break.
I think you forgot to also add how YouTube publishes immediately. Acast takes 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually upload to Spotify and Apple. And most of the time, by the time we are done recording, it's the next day and we need to actually go to bed.
Yeah, so that's also another reason why I stopped always going to check on Spotify and co, because it doesn't publish immediately on all those places. YouTube I can check immediately because like once you press publish it's there. But with Spotify and the rest, because it's Acast is the one doing the publishing, it can take 10 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes, 30 minutes for it to synchronize. And sometimes I don't have that time. I have like other things that I'm doing and I don't remember to come back and check it. And so I just like remove that part from my process. But now I have to pick it back up again, just like I had to pick up listening to the audio once I upload it before publishing again, which is honestly, I'm so upset by my Acast not publishing yesterday. Like the episode was almost like it didn't exist. If I didn't publish to YouTube, if I didn't sit on YouTube, I decided to question myself that did I actually record this thing? But I actually did. I remember recording it, doing the description, creating the image for the episode, and uploading everything to YouTube and Acast. But for some reason, there's nothing on Acast, and I had to re-upload it today. And then I had actually recorded something else for today's episode, but I was like, when I now discovered that something was wrong, and I was like, this is what I want to talk about instead, because I'm very frustrated. I need to express this frustration. And it's just annoying that as we're getting to the end that all these issues are coming up more and more. But whatever, I guess we're actually going to get to the end of it. Episode 365 will be published. Okay. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for listening to my random rants and frustration. Onto the number facts for the day. There are 72 days left in the year, and 72 is the percentage of water of which the human body is composed. It is also the speed in miles per hour that cheetahs, the fastest land animal, can reach. And for today in history, usually I like to keep my today in history happy facts, fun facts, great things. But as a Nigerian, I will be remiss, I think that's the right word, if I didn't mention that today in 2020, what is now known as the Lekki massacre happened, where people who were protesting to end police brutality in Nigeria were killed by the Nigerian government through the military at the site of protests. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.